it is very vast, one would think maybe someone can hide some things there. So we made several attempts there before we could talk to the people, the very occupants of the place, before we could meet the person responsible. We have made several attempts there. It's called fence within a fence. That's how we describe it. The reason why we did that is the property was initially fenced. And I think shortly, maybe sometime after that, maybe the president became interested in the adjacent land. And so the fence was extended. But the initial fence was never brought down. So we describe it as fence within a fence. But it's quite a big area. And I understand when we went there, so many other properties that were private properties were brought down there by instructions of the former president. That's the property I'm talking about at Batokunku. Then we also visited C4. We had tip-ups that tips rather from members of the public that the president had some of the properties of the president are there, and we visited there to check to see whether indeed there are any things there. It's a very big land area, and we served the notice. What was there is the traditional round huts. That's what we found. And in fact, there were also claims that the president had cattle at that place, but that is not the case. Then, yep, I think those are the properties. And this list, the entirety, especially Banjul, each and every plot in Banjul, we have revisited with the Commission's investigation team that was already on the ground, and that's where we seized. Thank you.
So that is all the properties you and your team visited?
Yes, those are the properties.
Just to clarify, you had mentioned that you also took Mr. Balde, who was an investigator from the Commission,
that's correct,
around to visit these properties.
That's correct.
Did you visit all these properties with Mr. Balde at the same time, or did you visit first with your team and then you had to go back and take Mr. Balde to these properties?
As I said, we served notices on at all these premises, and subsequent, when we started the inventory proper of all these assets of the landed property, well, that's what we ended with. We were concentrating on the other aspect of the operations, but when we get to that, the Commission was already full-blown. They were already into the assets recovery, and they were concentrating on the landed properties. So by virtue of that, we had to take him round. Since we are doing the same thing as they are doing, we went with him physically. And on some occasions, there was a gentleman from the either physical planning or the Department of Lands, but his surname is Jammeh. Jammeh, yes, Jammeh is the second name.
Can you remember his first name?
I cannot, but I know he's Jammeh. He works with the physical planning, but he was attached to the Commission, helping them with the recovery of the landed properties, with the identification of the landed properties. He was with them. Some of the times that we went with Mr. Balde, he was present.
He was with the team?
Yeah, he was with the team.
Very well. So, before we continue,
yes,
you had mentioned that in C4,
yes,
you received tip-off from the public.
That's correct.
Was this when you got to C4 or before you went to C4?
Before we went to C4.
Before you went to C4?
Yes.
How did you go about receiving tip-offs from the public?
People will call you and tell you that, the president has this there, the president has this there. They will do that.
On the phone?
Yes, on the phone. They'll call you and tell you. But they already know you are in the process. They'll find out and know who is there.
And were these random people or were these government officials, security officials?
Private individuals.
Private individuals.
Yes.
So a private individual contacted you and told you to visit C4. The president had a property there.
Because people believe that some assets might have been moved there. Even this property at...
Sorry, did you say assets were moved there?
That's what some people believe.
Okay.
Yeah, and people also believe that the president has herds of cattle at C4. And that wasn't the case. We went there, we found round huts, and that was it.
Was the property in Sifo occupied?
I would say no, and I may say also yes, in the sense that we found, I think, security officers there. Yeah, so I would say yes, in that to that extent, but I don't think it was typically a residential place for anyone.
Okay, so when you say security officials in Sifo, were they from the Gambia police force, the army, the navy?
I believe they are paramilitary officers.
Paramilitary
yeah,
officers.
in fact, the people we found were not even in uniforms, but
okay.
I believe they may be security officers who were just there. But we were not that interested in the sense that there was nothing that we should so concerned about. Well, it's just a property, landed property. They could not do anything with that landed property. But we found a few of them there, a few boys there, who were occupying that place. I believe they are paramilitary officers, not police officers as such.
Okay, Mr. Jallow, whilst you were taking the committee through these properties, and what you came across when you were going, or when you went to paste or serve the notice, I took the liberty to count the properties because the document is not numbered.
Yes.
And I came to a total of 36 properties.
That's correct.
These 36 properties, are these the only properties that you visited? Or are there perhaps maybe properties that was visited by you and your team that are not included in this document?
Those are the properties myself and my team visited. Apart from other locations where we've been to in respect of taking of inventories. So when we started the recording of the landed properties to inventorize, as in this case, these were the ones we covered by the time the commission also came on board. But as we are doing this, in fact, we didn't know that the commission was also doing the same thing. So when we got knowledge that the commission was doing the same thing, we had to defer to the commission's team. And that is why we took Mr. Balde now round all these properties so that at least they have knowledge of them and to do what they are supposed to do.
How did you learn about the commission's own exercise when it came to landed properties?
Of course, we met, we knew about it. The mere fact that we have counsel who is involved in that process, who was there at the commission. So you will know ordinarily that they have started the process. Of course, also with the mere fact that we have met, we went to the Eyeafrica property, and when we went to the Eyeafrica property, thereafter, after all those events, we were told that in fact the commission also was there. So I had a direct conversation with Mr. Balde, and we knew that Mr. Balde and his team were in the field taking inventory of the landed properties, and they had a bigger, a more sophisticated team in the sense that they had a surveyor with them, and they also had more capacity and resources in terms of going around the country to do the inventory of the landed properties. So we deferred to them and we stepped back.
Are you saying that counsel to the the commission informed you about the commission's own exercise in trying to find and visit the landed properties?
I wouldn't say counsel calling me to say that we are doing this, but I know, because I've been there, I know that counsel was helping them in terms of, especially with the lease registration, those registered properties, I know. But from the very beginning that we went into this exercise, we clearly knew that the commission was into the exercise, and by virtue of that, we had to liaise with Mr. Balde and make him know that we are also doing the same thing, and defer to his team, and so we went with him physically also to verify those assets.
Mr. Jallow, for purposes of clarity, when you say council, can you please state the council's name?
Well, the Oliver Danso was there.
Which council you referring to?
Council Oli Danso was there, and she was helping very well in terms of the identification with the leases, because I saw her work at some point. So at least We have a relationship. I should be able to know from the commission what they are doing.
On whose instructions was she acting on to provide information to your team, to you and your team?
Not necessarily provide information to me and my team, but I will know for certain by virtue of the fact that I have had instances when I will, at least have some association with the commission, obviously. Investigators go into the field. Of course, the end product will be how to help them to put things in order. So obviously, I will know it, and by virtue of the role I was also playing in the whole exercise, definitely, But it was not like we had a direct correspondence all between us as such. No, but at least ordinarily we will know, of course.
All right, Mr. Jallow. So, Mr. Jallow, is there a possibility that the former president owned or his close associates owned or were in control and possession of more properties than contained in this inventory?
Of course, yes, of course, yes.
And during the time the task force and your department was doing inventories and just carrying out the order of the High Court, did you come across any more assets or any more landed properties than these 36?
No, I cannot remember. I cannot remember. Except if we were out to do so, then we will be able to uncover. But at that material moment, everything has shifted to the commission. But of course, there would be.
Mr. Jallow, take a look at the annexure attached to MOJ 5A. Annexure 1, please.
Yes.
You can turn to the other pages. It's
Page 2?
yeah. It's a little bit long.
Yeah. Well,
it goes beyond page 2, actually.
Yeah.
It goes all the way to. Unfortunately,
it is 3 pages. Ending.
No, it's more than 3 pages, Mr. Jallow. It goes all the way to the last page before Annex 2. Just take a look at the list.
Yeah.
And it's numbered in certain instances, but then afterwards you will have a table.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you actually, I will not burden you with counting and adding the two. The list and the table.
107.
Yes. It stops at the list stops at 107,
and
then the table is numbered to 24.
That's correct.
And if you add that, you will have 131 properties.
That's correct.
131 landed properties.
Yeah.
Mr. Jallow, 131 properties. This list was provided to the High Court by the Attorney General. And that is why I'm still shocked or still surprised, I'd say, by the fact that you said you were never provided a copy of the annexures by the High Court and even the Attorney General himself, because the Attorney General presented this list to the High Court, and the High Court adopted same from the, if you go through the order again, you can see that the High Court did not vary or even try to do anything about the annexures. As it was presented to it, it also adopted same and just attached to the order. So I'm very concerned that you said you only visited 36 properties. The Attorney General's chambers identified initially 131 properties. What do you have to say to this?
It was in the course of our transaction, not necessarily, we are not supposed to end with that. If it were not for the fact that we deferred to the Commission's team, we would have. I'm saying not necessarily. If it were not because we have deferred to the Commission's team, we would have proceeded with our investigations of the landed properties.
So, Mr. Jallow, before we continue to this report, let me just ask, I'm just taking you back to the beginning of your testimony. You've stated that the High Court, when giving you a copy of, by the way, can you just clarify to the court, who or through whom at the High Court did you obtain a copy of this order?
I don't think I can remember that person, but I know that I obtained the order.
Did you obtain the order from the registry, central registry, or did you obtain it from the very court that issued the order?
I am not able to remember very well, but I know that I cannot remember exactly whether it was the registry, but I know I obtained the order by myself from the court.
Well, Mr. Jallow, so again, let me just ask this question and we can move ahead. When you obtained a copy of this order from the High Court, and you met with the Attorney General to devise a way to carry out or execute the order of the High Court, did you not ask the Attorney General for the annexures that is mentioned in the order?
Honestly, no.
Did you deem it not necessary?
It should be necessary, absolutely. But honestly, I did not find out.
Were you not interested?
Of course, I should be interested. I am.
I'm not saying whether you should be. I'm saying at that time, were you interested or not?
Of course, I'm interested.
You were interested?
But I never asked. Yeah.
You were interested, but you never asked?
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Jallow, you submitted this report today. You've also stated earlier that you had a personal file, or there was a file the department had that you personalized, and somehow, in this short time, you lost the file. And now you cannot provide more information to this committee.
Would it be, sorry if I interject, if I interject?
No, wait, let me complete what I have to say.
Yes.
Where did you obtain a copy of this report that you have submitted today to this committee?
It was from records I had from on my laptop.
So your laptop,
yeah,
you have information?
Yes, I have some information there, so that is where I extracted this.
So should I also assume that your laptop contains at least digital copies of reports you had prepared, digital copies of the memos you had written?
No, not every.
Were your memos handwritten?
No, they were typed on my computer in the office.
On your computer?
Yes, in my office.
In the office?
Yeah.
So where did you obtain this? From your computer?
From my laptop.
From your personal laptop?
Yeah, from my personal laptop.
You obtained this one. So you had digital copies of documents on your computer. You lost the file. But let me finish.
Okay.
You did not think you should maybe copy the documents that you had on your office laptop, maybe to your personal laptop? Why did you choose this report to copy this on your personal laptop?
Well, some of my work I will do on a laptop. So I had an old laptop which I was able to retrieve these documents, this particular one of landed properties, because I was trying to do an update of landed properties that we inventorize. But in terms of my work, everything about my work is done in my office. And perhaps what I wanted to clarify also was the fact that you have always been mentioning that I personalize. I did not personalize anything.
But it's a file that you carried. It's a file belonging to the department.
It is normal in the course of your transaction that when you are doing official work, sometimes you keep certain documents to yourself just for any eventual things. But that does not amount to personalizing things.
But unfortunately, there are eventualities and you cannot produce the file.
But they are supposed to be in the records of the Ministry of Justice.
Very well. Mr. Jallow, actually, before we proceed any further to my other questions regarding this report, you said that these documents were all submitted to the Attorney General, yes, and should ordinarily be kept
within the records,
with the Records Department of the Ministry. My question here is, didn't you also keep copies for the Registrar General's Department's files? Because ordinarily there should be specific files that the department would have, or certain documents that the department would keep. So the contents of that file, weren't they also part of the documents that the department kept?
All documents authored by me in relation to this asset management and recovery process are addressed to the Solicitor General and Minister is kept in copy.
So
we do not have to say a Registrar General file. All files are deemed to be the Minister of Justice's file. So whatever I do, and then copy the Minister of Justice.
Well, so Mr. Jallow, you're telling this committee that everything you prepared was only prepared in one, or let's say 2 copies, one submitted to the SG and AG through the records office, and then another one for your personal file.
Yeah.
You did not think it was necessary to keep another file within the department itself?
No, I because everything was supposed to be central, so I just sent them to the minister. I don't think there was any need for one ministry to keep 2 files. That there was no need for that. As long as I report to the minister, whatever I do, I present to the minister.
Mr. Jallow, did you have a secretary when you were a Registrar General?
I do my own typing.
Did you have a secretary?
Yes, there is a secretary.
Okay.
Yes.
So was your secretary involved in receiving and transmitting documents or information on your behalf, or through, or even receive information from the Central Records Office?
Whatever document that is supposed to be served on me from the Central Records Office comes to me directly. There was a secretary, but I was doing my work by myself. All my typing I do by myself.
So your secretary...
So my secretary works in the marriages office, and I don't interfere with. So hardly does he do any work for me in terms of typing certain documents. No, I do them myself. But that's the arrangement I found. So of course, someone identified as a secretary there, but all the secretaries that were there at the time were working in the marriages registry. So in terms of documentation, whatever document is supposed to be served on me, either by the Solicitor General or the Attorney General, will come to me directly from the records office with the minutes, and I will act accordingly, but not through a secretary as such.
All right, Mr. Jallow.
Yeah.
So Mr. Jallow, let's go back to this report that we have been going through. So Mr. Jallow, this report is not dated. Do you remember when it was prepared?
I cannot. No, it's not dated. It's just a memory of the documents, the properties I listed in Banjul that I was able to retrieve, from my laptop. But I cannot tell you the exact date, because these are different dates when these things were done in Banjul and other places. So there was no date as such. For some of the places I visited, I can remember the dates, and there were dates, in the memos I prepared. I would mention the date, but this particular one does not have that. This is the last thing we did in the exercise.
So, when did you prepare this report?
In fact, I would not call this a report as such.
Okay, an inventory. It's not an inventory.
Yes.
When did you prepare this inventory?
This has been, when we attacked the properties, it's been a long time. It's about the first time we went out for the Banjul properties. The first time we went out, we served notice on all those Banjul properties and subsequently to the other properties. But in terms of sitting down now to start the real-time inventory of the landed properties, this is where we started, and this is where we ended, and deferred to the Commission's team. The mere fact that they are also doing the same thing as us.
So now we can say that this report is a few years old. Is it? It was prepared at the time you were Registrar General.
Yeah, at the time I was Registrar General.
Very well. This inventory, rather, since you said we should not call it a report. This inventory, Mr. Jallow, is it part of a bigger inventory or a bigger report, or is it just a standalone inventory?
This is just about the landed properties we started inventorizing. It's just about that. It does not have any links with the other inventories we carried out earlier. There were other inventories we did of assets.
Well, Mr. Jallow, was this inventory ever submitted to any institution, anyone? Or was this just for your personal records?
Apart from Mr. Balde, I brought this just to furnish information to this commission that these were the properties. This committee, that these were the assets we started tracing in terms of the landed properties. But in terms of submission and a proper inventorized assets in terms of the landed properties, no, that did not happen. Because, as I said, we deferred to the commission's team. That was, in fact, into it before even we went there. They started this thing before us, but already we have already served notices on these properties, and so we told it, we deemed it necessary to bring it to their attention that what you are doing, we have also started doing. But these are the properties we visited and we brought to. So I can remember some of them, so I had to just bring it to the attention of the committee for your information.
All right, Mr. Jallow. Did you ever submit any report to the commission?
This commission?
This is a committee.
You mean the
Jammeh Commission?
You mean the Jammeh Commission?
Yes.
No, there were no direct correspondences between me and the Jammeh Commission, but I believe maybe some of the things I do would be shared with them. That's my understanding, especially when it comes to a particular report I authored. I believe the minister would share it with them.
Okay, so the minister would be the one to ordinarily share information,
to share information with the Jammeh Commission.
Information from reports that you have generated.
Yeah.
Very well. So, Mr. Jallow, when you were going through this document, at the beginning I had told you that we will talk about challenges faced, right? But then let's just go through the document. Now that we've dealt with the document in its entirety, let's come to, let's go back to the initial question I had asked you to. I asked but told you, let's just shelve it and put it aside.
Yes.
In identifying these properties, visiting these properties,
yes,
and even serving notice, because some of them you said that you had to visit more than once, because initially you go, you don't find anybody, and then now you have to go back, which is I believe an extra burden that is added to the work of the task force.
Yes.
Are there any challenges specifically that, apart from just going to a property and finding it empty or not finding the occupants there, are there any challenges that you faced or the team faced in just going out to issue these notices at these properties?
Ordinarily, yes, you will face, that is highly likely, it's expected that you will face challenges, that is highly likely.
Did you face challenges?
Yes, in some instances, yes, we face challenges.
These challenges, did you face them in every property that you visited, or was it limited to maybe one or two properties, or maybe the region? Like, for example, did you face challenges in Banjul, everywhere in Banjul?
Supported by other individuals, maybe, I'm not sure who they are, but in any event, I had a meeting with the Honorable Minister, and the Honorable Minister had made it very clear that we needed to prove from our end, we needed to prove. But I also believe that it is now, the onus now lies on her to prove and not us. And I brought in this issue of the balance of probabilities in civil matters. But I thought I was really too much. That's what I thought at that material moment on reflection.
All right, Mr. Jallow. So you explained your stance to the Honorable Chair of the Commission.
Indeed.
And then the meeting concluded. Stop going to that property to try to evict, or did the Honorable Chair tell you, okay, just continue your work, or is the Commission going, or did the Honorable Chair tell you that the Commission will now take it up from where you have stopped?
Council, we had 2 meetings regarding this particular property. We had 2 meetings.
I know you said you had 2 meetings. Did you have 2 meetings with the chair?
Yeah.
Okay, 2 meetings with the chair. All right.
Yes.
On different dates.
No, on different days.
Okay.
On that particular property.
All right. And you concluded issues.
Yes.
Or came to an agreement at the end of the second meeting.
Yes, at the second meeting. Yes.
And now I just want you to tell us what the conclusions were after these meetings, so that we can just move on.
It was deferred to the Commission on the work.
Okay, so you were instructed to defer?
Yes, we just deferred to the Commission.
Okay.
And the Commission took over because they had the mandate and they were the ones who invited her to testify.
Okay, so were you the one that said, okay, you know what, let me just defer to the Commission, or did the Commission tell you, we are also conducting investigations on so many properties, and not just landed properties, but so many assets. Therefore, just carry on with the rest of your functions. We will take it up from here. How did deferring to the Commission, how did you arrive at that conclusion?
The conclusion there at that meeting was that they will invite her.
The Commission?
Yeah.
And therefore you should step back?
Not explicitly to tell me step back, no. But at least by that action, impliedly they are taking over from me.
And then after that, okay, the Commission is conducting its work, will do its investigations, it will carry out its hearings.
Exactly.
So you decided, you know what, it's implied here, let me focus on other assets. Is that it?
Absolutely.
Very well. So, Mr. Jallow, let's go back to your initial meetings about this property that you had with the Attorney General. How many meetings did you have with the Attorney General with regards to this property? Because you said you met with the Commission twice. Did you meet with the Attorney General once, or?
There was a particular day, and that is where I mentioned this issue of the balance of probabilities. I was going to that particular property. Usually, I will inform the Solicitor General when I'm going out. So I informed the Solicitor.
Verbally or a memo?
Verbally when I was leaving, because already notices were served. So I informed the Solicitor General that I'm going to that particular property. I think that was the very moment, or second day also, when I was going there to serve the notice.
The eviction notice?
Yeah, the eviction notice. That she will be evicted at some point. You know, she should know that. So when I was going on my way, I remember at some point the solicitor called me to ask. I said, where are you? I said, I was going to the place I told you. So when I got there, she told me, if you are done with that, you can come back. You can see me rather. So when I came, then that was when I went with him to meet the Honorable Minister. The Honorable Minister said that we should retract. But then I think that at that point too, I think I was too much. And I said, why? That was when he came up with the issue that we are not able to prove that she does not own the property. I thought maybe, on reflection, I think I was a bit too much with the minister when I said, no, the fact that she has produced the document on the minute letterhead is an indication that she does not own the property. And then I raised this issue of the balance of probabilities. Upon reflection, I thought I was too much with the minister.
When you say you were too much, what do you mean? Were you being insubordinate to the minister? Did you feel that you were being disrespectful?
Yes, on reflection, I think I was disrespectful.
But at the time, you felt justified in your stance.
Under material moment,
in your,
yes.
yeah. All right. So, Mr. Jallow, when you informed the Attorney General of your own opinion and your stance that it is indeed necessary for the occupants of that property to prove ownership so that you can continue with other properties and just do your work, what was his response? Did he still insist that you stop the work that you were doing, which is to ensure that she vacated the property, or even prove to you, at least at the bare minimum, that she owned the property?
Well, if my memory serves well, I think he insisted on his position that we couldn't prove, and I had to do that.
You had to give up.
Yes.
Well, Mr. Jallow, let's go back to your view at the time, where you said that you felt on a balance of probabilities that in as much as it was hard to prove, but also there was a burden on her to also prove that she owned the property. And when you asked, she provided you a letter. And of course, we all know that that is not sufficient to prove title to land in this country. Why didn't you insist on that?
Well, I believe by my conduct I was insisting.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I believe. So, by my conduct.
Okay.
But as I said, upon reflection, I thought I was a bit too much.
All right. So, Mr. Jallow, you stated that you were accompanied to this meeting by the Solicitor General.
Yes. In fact, he was the one who called.
So, in the entire discussion, he was present?
Yeah, he was there.
Did he say anything, did he just watch?
Well, he was with me. It's like he was in support of my position. That is my own. That is what happened.
Okay, but you were eventually overpowered.
Would I call it overpowered? I don't know. I don't want to go.
Okay, what would you call it?
Well, let me just say I eventually, took a neutral position, and the commission did its work.
So you decided to stand down.
Yeah.
But Mr. Jallow, you said this meeting with the AG preceded the meetings with the chair of the commission.
That's correct.
So you indeed did not stand down at that point.
I stood down. The mere fact that it is with the commission is aware, and I was invited. I stood down.
But you still went to the property after that meeting with the AG?
No, I didn't.
You didn't go back?
No, I didn't go back.
So you just one day you were called by the chair and said, come and meet me?
Yeah. No sooner the commission invited me and the lady was called there,
okay.
I decided to stay away.
Mr. Jallow, considering at that point you had a difference in opinion with the Honorable Minister, did it not occur to you to at least put your opinion into writing in the form of a memo, at least, or email, and send to the minister to just state for the record, at least, so that in the future, if there ever comes a time where the execution of your duties was somehow questioned, you would have something to vindicate you, especially with regards to this issue. Did you not write a memo?
I never thought of that.
Okay.
Especially having regard to the fact that the commission got involved and invited her. I never really thought of that. I just thought it's a transaction ongoing, and the mere fact that the very commission established to take care of those is in its operations, and I've invited this person. Okay. I thought that was sufficient.
Okay. And the Solicitor General was present, so it was sufficient?
Yes, he was there during the meeting.
Okay.
But I think in my memory serves, he was supporting my side of the agreement.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, we had a relationship, and so
it was not okay. Yeah. All right. So, Mr. Jallow, before we just move forward to other issues, just confirm this for the committee. You received instructions from the AG and the chair of the commission, and in meetings that were attended by others, to stop the work you were doing with regards to this property? Are these the only people that ever contacted or had anything to say to you with regards to these properties?
Maybe I need to clarify so that we are on the same page.
Not these properties, this particular property.
This particular property.
So we can move ahead to something else. Please do.
The commission never asked me to stop.
Okay, not clearly.
But impliedly.
Implied.
That is what I'll assume, in the sense that they have already taken over and the person was called to testify.
Okay.
So the commission, the chairman never asked me to stop. I know he personally told me that, you have my backing. In case of anything, that the chairman definitely told me.
Yeah, sure.
Because I think at some point he too was concerned for me, and because I felt I was a bit too much. But the chairman, honestly speaking, he was also concerned for me and said, I have, his backing. In case of anything, they will stand for me.
But did you need backing?
Well, at least somehow, at least to give me assurances that you needed not to worry about whatever transpired in this transaction. So I would call it at least to make me settle down and not feel otherwise.
So were you a bit concerned, a bit nervous about the whole thing?
Full on push with the superiors could.
It's not easy.
Could be interpreted, wrongly. Quite frankly, whatever I was doing it
in good faith.
In good faith. I don't know the person that was occupying the property. I never had a relationship with her. It was the first time I met her. It was the first time I got to know her. I never knew her, so I don't have anything why I should be, averse to her.
Okay.
I was merely executing my duties within the confines of the law, and so. But your superiors, you also need to accord them some respect. So if there is a way you comport yourself, it may be within the parameters of your, of the rules governing you. But on reflection, you realize that why not? You could have just
All right. So, Mr. Jallow, you had also mentioned difficulty when it came to evicting the occupants of the former president's mother's house, but then eventually you were able to do it. You mentioned that they were moved to another property. Who owned that property that they were moved to?
The former president. I also
was also part of it.
Yes, also part of it.
Who made that decision to say, let's evict them from this property and move them?
I made that decision.
Was this approved by the AG or the SG?
It was not approved by any one of them. I took that decision.
You took that initiative?
Yes.
Did you inform them? If you inform by them, I mean, did you inform the AG?
No, I did not tell them. I did not tell them, but I took that decision by myself because I thought it was going to be too much to throw them outside, and others are going to school and all what have you. So to throw them outside, I think that was too much. So since that property was there, it was empty, and there was another family that was willing to assist. They took their properties, their personal effects were taken by some of those families that were around. There's a Jibakunda family that took some of the things, and there was another family that took some of their belongings. So, I had to just put them in that house, at least to have a shelter, because definitely it will be too much to throw them onto the streets, So at least since there was another property where they could conveniently be whilst they look for a place, I think it was only humanitarian that I do that.
So it was a temporary arrangement?
Yeah, it was a temporary arrangement.
And did you ensure that eventually they left the property?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And you never informed the AG about it?
No, I did not tell the Honorable AG.
Why?
No, that would defeat my purpose now. My purpose was to keep them there. What if I tell them and they told me, why did you do that?
Okay.
I would have, flouting my,
All right. Very well. Last question on this document.
Yes,
and we've been informed that lunch is
been served.
We should take a lunch break.
Okay.
So last question on this document, so that when we come back, we can move to other issues.
Okay.
We've all noticed that at the bottom of the document, it is stamped, and it says certified true copy of the original, Anna McLean. Who is Anna McLean?
She's at the Ministry of Justice. I understand because from the summons, I was asked to certify them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I did that.
So is she a notary public or commissioner of oaths?
She's a notary public.
She's a notary public at the Ministry of Justice.
Yeah, but this is private. It's not as per done on behalf of Ministry of Justice.
Yes, so she notified,
Yeah.
sorry, she notarized, she
Yeah,
certified this
Yeah.
as a notary public.
Yeah.
Very well. And she was shown a copy of the original? Considering you saying the original was on your laptop. Did you show her your laptop?
No, I didn't show her my laptop, no.
So you just took this and asked
Yeah,
her to stamp, and she did.
printed this and took it to her, yeah.
And she did.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Honorable Chair, I believe this is a convenient point to take a break.
Thank you so much, Council, very well. We can take a short break for lunch, and if I said break is still long, I know. So we will resume by 4 o'clock, and then we'll proceed with the testimony of the witness.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Thank
That's
you.
fine.
Meeting
Thank
adjourned.
you very much.
Thank you.